Hey everybody, Renee here from O'Reilly Auto Parts to show you how to change a power door lock actuator. Door lock actuators are controlled by the power lock system, allowing the doors to be unlocked with a switch or fob. If they fail, they may keep your locks from working properly, or could even cause the doors to remain locked unexpectedly. Today, we'll be changing the power door lock actuator on a 2003 Ford Focus, but procedures will vary, so be sure to know the specifics for your vehicle before getting started. Once you've got your supplies together, here's what you'll do. Open the door and begin removing the door panel. This procedure will be different on nearly any vehicle, but we've included a brief overview of what's necessary on this Ford Focus. You'll just need to remove trim pieces and fasteners that hold the main door panel in place in order to access the regulator and motor assembly. You'll also need to disconnect wiring harnesses to window switches and controls. Once you've removed all fasteners and trim pieces, lift out and up on the main panel to remove it from the door. Gain access to the interior of the door by moving or removing any moisture or sound dampening material. In our case, we'll unclip and remove this foam piece first. Now we'll slowly begin to peel back the insulation, using a trim tool as necessary to get through the adhesive and minimize damage to the insulation. Peel the insulation back enough to gain access to the back of the door handle. Remove the fasteners securing the door handle. You may need to remove a rubber seal from this opening in the metal to access the second fastener. Now you'll pull the door handle off from the outside of the door. In our case, we'll use a trim tool to carefully remove this triangular trim piece first. Pull out carefully on the door handle to disengage and remove it. There are two gaskets, one on either side, that can be removed by hand or with a trim tool. Now, remove the fasteners, securing the door lock itself at the edge of the door opposite the hinge. At this point, the only thing connecting the actuator to the door is the cable that runs to the interior door handle. This door handle is held in place by a pinch tab and can be removed by gently prying off. Maneuver the actuator to the opening in the door until you can slip the other end of the interior door handle cable off the actuator. Once that's done, detach the wiring harness and carefully lift the actuator out of the door. On this vehicle, the actuator and latch assembly will need to be removed from the door handle mounting assembly, and then the new actuator can be installed to the mount while it is still off the vehicle. To start, use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the lower mounting screw, and a star bit or screwdriver to remove the upper mounting screw. On the other side of the assembly, use a flat blade screwdriver or trim tool to release the retaining clip near the top of the latch. Then, using a pick or flat blade screwdriver, release the door lock rod clip from the rear of the latch and actuator assembly. This will allow the rod to slide out of the back of the latch. There may also be a second rod that connects the handle to the latch, and this can be separated by pulling it from the back of the assembly. There may be a retainer that needs to be removed, and in some cases, a replacement retainer will be included with the assembly. Now you should be ready to install your new actuator and latch assembly. Insert the lock rod into the new actuator and latch assembly and secure it with a new clip if one was provided. Then insert the door handle rod and the new retainer, if provided, through the eyelet on the new actuator and latch assembly. Align the new actuator with the clip on the mount and secure it in place. Now you can replace the Phillips and star screws you removed earlier using the appropriate screwdriver or bits. Move your new actuator into position. And reattach the wiring harness. Reattach the other end of the cable to the actuator. Then snap the door handle back into place. Use the fasteners you removed earlier to secure the door lock at the edge of the door opposite the hinge. Back on the outside of the door, put the two gaskets back in place where the door handle mounts. Press the door handle back in place and reattach the trim piece. Secure the exterior door handle from the inside with the two fasteners you removed earlier. If you removed a rubber seal to access the back of the door handle, you can replace it now. Move the insulating material back across the inside of the door and use two-sided waterproof tape to reattach it if the factory adhesive isn't keeping it in place. Put the door panel back in place, starting at the top. Secure the door panel with the fasteners you removed earlier. Reattach any wiring harnesses and reinstall any trim pieces. And that's it! You'll find everything you need for this and other jobs at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com. If you're not completely comfortable doing this yourself, we'd be happy to recommend a professional technician in your area. And be sure to subscribe so you'll see all our new video content. We'll see you again soon.